Hi everyone, Diana Rankin here for your weekly messages and the predictions this week for May 13th to the 19th. Well, I'm so grateful you're here. I thank each and every one of you for coming back, for subscribing to this channel. I want to welcome all of those of you who are new to our channel. Excuse me, some of the things I'm going to say today will be repeats for those of you who have been following me, but we have had some new people join us and they haven't heard some of the things I'm going to say today. I'm also going to say some things that I've only said to my closest friends. Predictions about the current state of the nation in America, which affects the whole world. I want to also thank you for your comments, and I want to thank those of you who have signed up for a private reading. I am available. You can reach me through my website below, down right under here are comments or my information. And I also, on there, you can reach me either by phone, just pick up the phone and call, and we'll get you scheduled, or you can email me and I'll give you some openings, but mostly I'll say, just give me a call and we'll get you scheduled. If you don't reach me when you call, leave a number and the best times to reach you, and I'll get back to you almost always within 72 hours. So thank you. Excuse me. So here we go. I don't like saying some of the things I'm going to say. By the way, Daisy is right here, and she says hello. And yes, we will get a message from Philip in a little bit. But I want to start with some things I don't like to say. I don't like to say them because I don't like to say them publicly because I like to tell you how to make your lives better, but I also think we need to stay informed. And also some of you have written and said, okay, is Trump going to stay in office or not? Be blunt. And when I'm blunt, and I have said before what I think about that, and I will say that again in a moment, but it does bring on Trump trolls, shall I say. And for those of you who are going to disagree with me, you must, or disagree with anyone who makes comments on this channel, do so with respect and civility, and you are allowed to disagree. If you are disrespectful, name calling, if you cannot be civil, I've got a very magic button called the delete key, and I use it. So, that said, here we go. All right, one of you wrote and you asked, is he going to be impeached? I don't think he's going to be impeached, but I think he will resign. You know, Mr. Trump, I suppose we should call him, but that's kind of hard because that's kind of a dress of respect. But his agenda is to create a dictatorship. His agenda, and I don't think that's a secret. His agenda is for him to stay in office and then for his daughter Ivanka to take over. Well, that's not going to happen. By the way, is he going to get the Peace Prize? Oh, that's laughable if it weren't so stupid. No, bullies do not get the Peace Prize, and he is a bully. And he doesn't deserve the Peace Prize. He doesn't even deserve meant to be mentioned in the same name. And yes, he was nominated, and it did come out that the person who nominated him used a fraudulent name and was not, so it won't be counted. But also, I want to say, the people who decide who wins the Peace Prize, they're not stupid. They're very bright people. They're not going to let a bully who's put the world in jeopardy of nuclear war. That's not worthy of a Peace Prize. All right. That said, this I've said before, he will not finish out his office, but it's not only him who will be taken down. I've said that it's the women who will cause Trump's downfall, but it's the money laundering that will put him in jeopardy of prison. And rather than go to prison, he will either die in office The man, I don't care what his doctor says, with his diet and his weight and his only exercise is golf, he's not in good health, and he is on a cholesterol drug. I also have always felt, and this is something I haven't said publicly, but I have said it to my close friends, I have always felt that he's on some kind of drug, I don't know what, but some kind of drug that reacts the same way like the street drug speed acts in people's system. He's just not rational when he talks. However, the vice president, I don't think would take us into a nuclear war as easily as the current president would. However, his hands are not clean. And so I want to say I don't think Ryan's hands are clean. McConnell, I don't like, but somehow I think he's going to escape all of this. I don't know how he will, but I think he will. I do think the only person who's going to go to jail is Jared, along with some of, within the family, I need to say, within the Trump family. I don't think anyone with the name of Trump, or certainly not Ivanka, will go to jail, although it is coming out, will continue to come out, has come out, that crimes have been committed by the sons, by the Jared's family members, by Ivanka. I mean, the whole administration pretty much is pretty corrupt. Now, that said, I want to say, when I say he won't finish office, will he resign? Not easily. But again, this man is not in good health, so it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't finish office. Let me just leave it at that, all right? We form our belief systems when we're very, very young. 4 or 5 years old, we have our belief systems formed. And from there on out, we spend our lives either chipping away at those belief systems in order to believe something greater, or we reaffirm those belief systems as we go through life. And you've heard me say, in order for us to heal individually or collectively as a society and as a world, we can't heal like this. We have to break the wound open, let the pus come out, push the pus out, and heal like this. What's happening in the U.S. and what's happening in the world is the pus is coming out. And fortunately, there are enough calmer minds, hopefully, in other countries to keep the world out of trouble. The U.S. is going through a metamorphosis, and all of the ancient stories tell us that the new story begins with chaos. Oh, my friends, I so want to create a world where the new story begins, lives, and ends with love. That's what we're doing here, isn't it? That's what we're trying to do. So bottom line is, yes, Trump would like to run again in 2020, and so would he would like to be king of the U.S. and have it only be filled with white men, probably. Well, white women, but we're the toys. That's who he is. This is a street fight. And those of us who don't understand street fighting really see this, how ugly street fighting is. But we've got a street fighter. We've got a man in the highest office of the nation who, for lack of a better term, is a reality star and is trying to run the nation like a TV show. And I put quotes around the word star. Reality TV pretty much started all of this. Okay, now, that said, I want to remind you of the old Stian Story. And Daisy is up here, by the way, saying hello to all of you. The Stian Story is, it's an ancient religion, and it is still practiced in some parts of the world. And to take it down to a very simple, forgive me, Zoroastrians, for being so simple about this, but it is good on one hand, evil on the other, and the two will be in conflict and war until good wins. And if you're listening to this, hopefully you're one of us who believes in the good of human nature, the good of all beings and are here to help usher in a greater world of love, kindness, compassion for all. The old Hebrew story of Archangel Michael and at one time Archangel Lucifer, and God said, I'm a little bored. Please go in and create a story. And by the way, I am simplifying these stories, but please go in. Whoops, we had a book fall over. Let me just lay it over so it doesn't fall onto the floor and scare all of us. But we have this story of Lucifer and Archangel Michael, and God said, please go in and create a story. I need there to be conflict here. I need good and evil in order that good can win. And Lucifer and Archangel didn't want to do this because they loved each other, but they loved God more and said, we will do this for you, God, because we love you so much. So if we think about those stories, the Zoroastrian story, and we think about the old Hebrew story, we can look at the current administration as merely fulfilling a prophecy that good and evil will fight each other, the pus will come out of the wound, and we will heal and create this new world order. That said, yes, I do agree that's what's happening. That's the big overall spiritual picture. We are creating the new world order of love, of peace, of compassion, of understanding, of helping one another. And in order to do that, we have to rid our individual lives. We have to rid our nations and our world of the evil acts. Not evil people. I don't believe there is such a thing. I believe there are people who are unknowing. There are people who are unable. There are people who don't have the brain construction of understanding love and compassion. But right now, we have many of those people in the world. And even though we understand the bigger picture, does that mean we don't hold evil acts accountable? Absolutely we do. We must keep ourselves as humans informed. We must keep ourselves active against the evil acts. Again, I don't think they're evil people, but I think their acts are evil if an act harms another. I hope that clarifies it all rather than confuses. Let's take a look and see what Philip has to say. This is my oracle. This is a book that was Daisy saying hello there, but this is an oracle book. There's an answer on each page, a wisdom on each page, and we just flip through and we think left page or right page to get our wisdom. And a lot of you, thank you, by the way, for purchasing this or my other books. And a lot of you are telling me that you use this book either first thing in the morning or before you go to bed at night to get some guidance for your day. So let's just kind of flip through here and see what we come up with, shall we? Are you ready? Thinking left page or right page? There we go. All right. And here's what I'm getting right page, by the way. And I usually end up reading both pages, but this is our message. This is what we've been talking about in a sense. Creation did not stop 2,000 years ago. It is alive and well and active within you. Creation did not stop 2,000 years ago. It is alive and well and active within you. By the way, the messages I just gave you, they're not just for this week or the predictions I made. They were basically to answer some questions that have come up by some of you. So let me read this one more time, and then we're also going to talk about this week, specifically May 13th to the 19th. Creation did not stop 2,000 years ago. It is alive and well and active within you. My friends, this week, unfortunately, we're going to continue this week to see a lot of craziness worldwide. By week's end, our heads are going to kind of spin. We're all getting a little weary of it all, And so it is extremely important that we take care of ourselves. We can look at the bigger story. We can ignore the human aspects and look only at the spiritual. That's fine. We can get mired in the human. That's not fine. We must remember we are both human and spiritual beings. And so as human beings this week, keep yourself informed or take some time off. The world is not going to stop this week. That I promise you. There will be some major developments toward week's end. Nothing of huge surprise. But what's important this week is, again, to take care of yourselves. Let me just read the left side. Success may begin with a dream, but it takes hard work and perseverance to turn the dream into a reality. Success may begin with a dream, but it takes hard work and perseverance to turn the dream into a reality. That fits in with what we've been saying too. Let's all hold our world in peace. Let's hold our world in love. I firmly believe that we have stopped a nuclear war. So far. We can't give up now. We can't stop holding the world in peace. It's becoming increasingly important. Does Mr. Trump want a war? This man has no idea the destruction that a war would cause. Nor do I believe he cares. A war, he thinks probably. I don't know what he thinks. But by all indication, he thinks a war would make him more popular. And that seems to be what he cares the most about. Let's not give it to him. Let's keep North and South Korea, all of Asia, in our prayers. Let's keep the Middle East certainly in our prayers. Let's say prayers of peace and calm for the Trump and his whole administration. And let's do the same for all world leaders. We can't avoid a war. Let's do it. It's up to us, the people. We are much more powerful than the politicians. We can change the world to one of love. Daisy and me, thank you for loving us. Thank you for being with us today and every week and every month and in our other videos. We are so grateful. Thank you for loving us. And thank you for accepting our love. And most of all, thank you for loving yourselves and holding our world in love.